Hello everybody, welcome back. We have another game. Let's play the French. We have a nice opponent, FARFAREriksson. Nice. Is it like a phone brand for this anonymous player? Let's go bishop e7. Okay. One of the main lines of this variation. And now there's always a big choice, but seems like he doesn't want to give me this choice. c4 is not the principal move here. Yeah, now I'm not sure exactly what's the move, but if I don't take, I guess I will be a bit passive. c6 allows c5. If I go c5 myself, cd is annoying, so I'll just take. I'm guessing, yeah, he wants to take with the knight, and now it's a critical moment for me. Okay, how about just developing? The typical move here is bishop d7, bishop c6 first before developing this knight to get this bishop a good square. I made a mistake that I pressed him. Had he taken on b6, this smart move would have caused me to play bishop d7. This would have been a pity. Okay, so let's go bishop d7 anyway. I don't see why not. I have to stop pressing pieces when explaining moves. Okay, bishop c6 is obviously my follow-up. d5 is the principled way to approach, but I'm thinking ed followed by bishop a4 is a good idea. I don't see what he can do against it, so let's do it. So bishop a4, don't see any reason to avoid it. b3 seems like the only move, and then I have to think how to best exploit this situation. Feels like black should be already better, but how much better is usually the question. So right now I'm not sure. Queen takes d5 will allow him to exchange queens, and I don't like it. So knight takes d5, b takes a4. Can also play bishop takes b3 and just be a pawn up. It's not so easy to decide. Knight takes d5, ba4, bishop b4 check, bishop d2, and then I can find some follow-up maybe. Just develop the knight. Oh my god. Okay, so my connection just closed once again. And yeah. Let's start a new game real quick and hope this video is not entirely ruined. And hope for the best. We're waiting for a new game. In the meantime, let's have a quick look with the computer. I think knight takes d5 is the right way. No, queen takes d5 was the recommendation. We have a new game. Unfortunately, we keep losing rating like this, but no worries. The internet will be fixed in like less than 12 hours, which is probably by the next video you'll see the result almost. Okay, we have the main line of the Slav defense. Many world championships took place in this variation. One I can quickly think of is Kramnik versus Topalov, and they played this exact sequence very quickly. Now bishop takes e3 is a principal move, but not many people try it. Some Chinese people play it sometimes that I've seen. Bishop h5, e5, knight d5, takes, queen e3 is the starting position, what they like to refer to as the tabia of the variation, and from there on it only becomes more principled, as they say. So yeah, my opponent is interested in entering this well-known variation. Now there are many moves. There's rook e8, bishop e7, some bishop g6, but my main idea is knight g5, and most of his moves are aimed against this. So for example, bishop e7 after knight g5 he wants to take and enter the endgame. Rook e8 wants to protect e6 so that here after bishop g6 and takes he has f takes g6 in some cases. Yeah, but I will enter it nevertheless. Yeah, now I have many different moves, but the one I like recently is queen d3. I'm not sure if this is the right position, but I think it is. Another interesting attempt is the pawn sacrifice with a5, but queen d3 is the positional approach. I just want to go bishop e3 and the rook fc1 and claim to be slightly better if possible. Yeah, a6 is probably not threatening anything. I don't see any real point behind it. I guess it wants to avoid queen b5 in some lines. Maybe queen b5 was even a threat, I'm not sure. So let's see. Now rook c1, we should probably exchange. Or go like this. f4 is now the typical follow-up. And I'm not sure what's next, but I guess we'll just respond to his move. So I don't have to do anything concrete right now. White's position is slightly better, and he doesn't have any extremely active plan. Let's go here, and g6 is hanging now. Probably knight f8 is the way, and I just have to find the right moves to improve my position. So now, for example, h4, h5 comes to mind, but you will probably just go knight f8 and so on. I think like you can also start with g3 and prepare some knight h4 related ideas, but okay, I don't see any reason to avoid this. Seems like a very healthy plan. Maybe even king f2 and rook h1 later on. So now he wants queen f5. Okay, but I have queen b3 over there. Not so sure what's going on. g4 is also interesting. But a touch too aggressive maybe. But he moves the king, and then I don't have a follow-up. Okay, let's just go h5. Don't see a problem with it. We'll go queen f5. Yeah, now it's kind of a critical moment. I think I'll just take on g6 and then think.
Check.
Yeah, and now it's a big question. Queen b3 looks like the logical move, but I can also enter a better endgame.
Check.
And then g4 probably, or slowly prepare this move, knight h4 check and so on. It's not so easy to decide. h5 is the principal move now, otherwise I go knight h4, but then I still go knight h4 if I want, or f5 check, so it just looks really good for white. Okay, now he wants knight c4, so I can probably prevent it with b3, but I can also start with f5 check first. ef, knight h4, and then gf next, allowing knight c4. Yeah, b3 allows bishop c3, which is slightly annoying. Never mind, I'll just prevent it altogether. f5, I don't feel like it's going anywhere. Yeah, now I can go f5. Seems like a good move.
Check.
And yeah, after he takes, knight h4 check is the point. And he doesn't have king g5 thanks to this bishop. So yeah, I get to improve my structure. Now I have to find a good spot for this knight. I'm guessing put it on h4 can't harm. So I'll simply do it. Another nice idea is just to bring the king over and claim that my position is much better and I don't really have to do anything concrete. Probably a more valid approach in the endgame. Shouldn't play this like a middle game. So here, yeah, it's quite an important moment. I'll just bring the knight here, preparing knight f4 and attacking e6. This was my main idea. I was thinking maybe he could have avoided it somehow, but it didn't prove anything against it. So feels like my advantage is growing. e6 is hanging. He has to probably take, and then I'll have this passer on e5. d5 is hanging. Position is about to crumble for black. And after he defends, I don't feel like I even have to do anything concrete. I can just bring the king over. So he wants 97 though. So maybe I shouldn't be too lazy. Let's go 93 first. And now he doesn't have 97 anymore. So I think I can just bring the king over. Let's put it here. Bishop g5 is a bit annoying. Maybe I should have put it on f2 so I can take and play king e3. So bishop g5, I'll just go king f3, but then knight takes d4. Now that's a pity. Now d4 is hard to protect. King f3, knight takes d4, but c1 is not really hanging. Okay, I'll do it nevertheless. I don't feel like knight d4 is good for him because the two pieces will be overwhelming with this passed pawn in the endgame. Okay, now can just play f6. Don't see why not. I wouldn't like to take first because then d4 will be hanging. So now takes and king e3 is probably going to be annoying for him. Ah, but he had knight takes d4 intermediate move. So I didn't have a threat, but he was the one who was supposed to demonstrate threat in this position. Okay, now it's just a matter of technique. I don't have much time. Let's just go here. Everything looks winning, but I'm not sure what's the most precise. Attacking h6.
Check.
Have to be quick. 30 seconds on the clock. Rook c2. Okay, what is this? Just move. Let's go here. Yeah, wasn't the most precise, but I feel like I'm still very close to winning. Despite the time pressure.
Time warning.
Okay, I'll take with the rook. Rook g7 coming.
Check.
And
Check.
this is over.
Check. Check.
And he wants to continue. Okay.
Checkmate.
Nice. Overall, not such a bad game. Nice compensation for our unfortunate beginning of this video with the internet. But as mentioned, I'm fixing the internet. I'm changing to the best internet supplier possible starting tomorrow. Unfortunately, I decided to record today a few videos, so probably you see the result after video number 75 or so. Okay, as mentioned, this is the main line. We're quickly going through the game. Queen d3 is the move I like, as mentioned earlier, and now we got the typical position where white should be slightly better and black has to find the way to put his pieces, and now I chose to play h4, which I think is nice. Checking quickly with the computer. Yeah, g3 is another move I wanted to play. Preparing knight h4, h4 related ideas. More solid. Bishop d2 is another attempt. But h4 looks quite nice. Straightforward and healthy. Knight f8 I don't really believe is nice for black after knight h4. Yeah, we got this position where computer thinks that black should be fine, but over the board it felt overwhelming because f5 is a huge threat. I guess bishop e7 is the way. Yeah, like computer says, to avoid knight h4 ideas, and now f5 is going to be much more difficult to unleash. So knight b6, b3, again bishop e7 was his last chance, and now finally I get f5 in. This knight maneuver was nice, although I missed something. According to the computer, yeah, 97. I saw it later, but I forgot he had it in this move. 97 attacks f5 and I can't really protect it. And yeah, black will be able to hold his position, or maybe even be better if I'm not precise. So rook d8, knight d3. Yeah, king g2 was actually right. King f2 I prefer, but I guess Both are of equivalent value. And now bishop takes g5, knight c5 is a computer way to exploit the advantage. I didn't see it, obviously. The point is that b7 is more important than d4 right now. And this tempo on the rook is what counts. I guess I can, if I want to be a strong player, I have to expect myself to find such concrete measures, even in Blitz. So I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't even consider it. King f3 was convincing enough though. Yeah. So let's see, knight a5 would have been better. Attacking b3. Not sure if I would have found rook a b1. And yeah. Now simply rook c3, rook a c1 would have been the healthy approach to exploit my advantage. And knight f4 kind of ruined it after knight b4. That's a pity. Yeah. I was thinking I play actively, but I just allowed counterplay for free. And yeah, here he was already fine after rook d3, but unfortunately for him, and he played this wrong move, and after knight f4 suddenly I have the initiative all over again. And obviously we are just in severe time pressure, less than 30 seconds for each, so it doesn't really matter anymore. And he blundered immediately and lost the game. Alright, I hope you learned something from this game. I know I did. And that you enjoyed watching it. And if you want to learn some more, then keep watching the next videos.